Curious how history etches itself into everyday currency? Join us as we decode the subtle evolution of the 1975, 1968, and 2003 dimes, and discover the marks of a changing America. During a period marked by transformation in American monetary history, a seemingly ordinary U.S. dime from 1975 quietly carried a secret that would eventually rewrite the rules of coin collecting. In the mid-1970s, the United States was undergoing economic fluctuations and minting processes were evolving in the face of rising production demands. At a time when the nation balanced tradition with modernity, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and Denver worked tirelessly to produce coins that combined the art of design with the precision of industrial manufacturing. Unbeknownst to many, on a fateful day in 1975, an anomaly took place at one of these mints, an error that, although initially unnoticed, was to become a coveted rarity among numismatists. The mistake was neither grand in scale nor visually ostentatious at first glance, but it bore the subtle marks of human oversight, a misalignment of design elements that would forever alter its legacy. The error itself was not a deliberate act but rather a confluence of technical mishaps. A slight misfeed in the coin press led to an imprecise strike, causing the final product to diverge from the standard design. The striking technique, refined over decades, had never before presented such an irregularity on the dime. The date and inscription, normally crisp and perfectly centered, instead hinted at a doubled impression, almost as if two different artists had inadvertently overlaid their work. While many of the coins passed unnoticed in circulation, one coin in particular would eventually captivate the attention of a seasoned collector. Hidden among piles of coins collected over years, one unassuming dime began its quiet transformation from a mundane relic into an emblem of serendipity and dedication. For a devoted collector with an eye for the extraordinary, the coin represented more than just metal. It was a portal into the intricate interplay of chance and craftsmanship. Sifting through a box of dimes from various eras, the collector's fingers brushed over the surface of the 1975 dime, immediately sensing that there was something amiss. The delicate error, a barely perceptible doubling of the date, suggested an irregularity that defied the usual order of mint perfection. The collector's heart quickened with the thrill of discovery, as if a long-hidden secret had suddenly been revealed. Over time, the collector meticulously studied the coin under magnification, comparing it with others and cross-referencing mint records. The initial curiosity evolved into a deep appreciation for the subtle nuances that set this coin apart. It was not merely the error itself that sparked excitement, but the journey it represented, a journey from an ordinary piece of currency to an extraordinary piece of history. Every line, every edge, told a story of its own, whispering secrets of the mint's laborious efforts and the imperfections inherent in any human endeavor. With each observation, the collector grew increasingly aware of the coin's significance, its hidden tale resonating with the very soul of numismatic artistry. Concurrently, word began to spread within the tight-knit community of coin collectors about the existence of the error. Initially, only a few enthusiasts recognized its rarity, and the coin's value remained modest, hidden beneath the veneer of everyday currency. However, as more collectors delved into the mystery and the coin's story reached beyond local circles, its worth began to escalate. Auction houses started to receive inquiries about similar coins, and experts began to appreciate the significance of the error. The evolution was gradual yet inexorable, much like a spark that slowly ignites a roaring blaze. The coin's value, which had once been seen as a standard piece of currency, started to mirror its newfound status as a historical anomaly, a treasure whose price was tethered not just to its material but to its unique story. Upon closer inspection, the peculiar error manifested in subtle yet unmistakable ways. The coin exhibited a delicate doubling of the date, an almost ghostly overlay of numbers that appeared as if the mint had attempted to imprint the date twice. The error affected the alignment of the die marks on the surface, giving the coin a visual tension that seemed to oscillate between precision and imperfection. It was as if the very essence of time had faltered on that specific day, leaving behind an indelible mark that challenged the conventions of minting. The artistic designs, meticulously rendered on the obverse and reverse, carried echoes of this irregularity, a delicate discord that would come to symbolize the coin's rarity. As the collector delved deeper into the coin's provenance, a twist emerged that few could have anticipated. Hidden in the mint's archival records, long overlooked and gathering dust in a forgotten ledger, was evidence that this error had a connection to a brief yet tumultuous period of experimental production techniques at the mint. The records suggested that in an ambitious attempt to streamline the production process, a batch of coins had been struck under modified conditions, inadvertently increasing the likelihood of errors. While this experiment was quickly abandoned, the errant coins had already entered circulation, leaving behind traces of innovation and risk. This revelation not only validated the coin's uniqueness, but also intertwined its destiny with a fleeting chapter of minting history that had almost been erased from memory. The collector's excitement was now tinged with a sense of destiny, as the error was no longer a mere accident but a marker of a daring experiment, a fleeting moment of deviation from convention. The realization that such a subtle mistake could be tied to a deliberate, though ultimately unsuccessful, attempt at modernization added layers of intrigue to the coin's story. It was as though the coin had been imprinted with the spirit of change, its value amplified by the audacity of the mint's brief flirtation with innovation. This convergence of error and experimental ambition turned the coin into an artifact that bridged the past and the future, a silent testament to the unpredictable nature of progress. As time passed, the market began to echo the sentiments of the collectors and historians who had come to revere the error. The coin, once overlooked in the vast stream of everyday transactions, became a symbol of numismatic serendipity. Its value fluctuated dramatically over the years, mirroring broader economic trends and the shifting priorities of collectors worldwide. Periods of economic uncertainty saw a surge in interest as investors sought tangible assets with historical resonance. During times of market exuberance, the coin's worth soared, buoyed by the allure of rarity and the romanticism of a mistake that had been transformed into a prized collectible. Each fluctuation in its price served as a reminder that even imperfections, when viewed through the lens of passion and history, could achieve extraordinary significance. At private gatherings of seasoned collectors, quiet conversations often turned to the humble 1975 dime, its presence bridging casual appreciation and scholarly debate. Experts compared it to other mint errors, yet none possessed the layered narrative of ambition, miscalculation, and reverence. The coin's journey symbolized the human experience, the interplay of chance and choice, the beauty of imperfections, and the unexpected rewards that accompany failure. It firmly reminded us that history is not flawless but a rich tapestry of mistakes and triumphs, with each error a crucial step toward understanding our shared, indeed timeless past. In the heart of 1968, a coin rolled off the mint's press, a seemingly ordinary dime destined to alter its own fate. That year, amid a nation in flux and a world on the brink of dramatic social and political change, the United States was busy churning out coins that carried not only monetary value but also the spirit of an era. Crafted with the familiar visage of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on its obverse and the emblematic torch, oak branch, and olive branch on its reverse, the dime was a symbol of resilience and forward momentum. Yet, amid the precision of industrial production, an unexpected misalignment occurred. A fleeting error that left behind a coin marked by an intriguing imperfection, one that would slowly capture the attention of collectors and historians alike. During that period, minting was a marvel of mechanical efficiency and intricate artistry. Each dime was the result of rigorous processes perfected over decades, intended to reflect both the country's rich history and its aspirations for the future. In the controlled chaos of coin presses and die engravings, however, a rare moment of imperfection slipped through. A subtle double impression on the reverse, a delicate, overlapping echo of the torch's flame, was not part of the original design. Instead, it was an unforeseen quirk born from a transient misfeed in the die, a minor mechanical hiccup that transformed an everyday object into an anomaly laden with hidden meaning. Somewhere in a modest coin shop, tucked away on a quiet street and illuminated by the soft glow of afternoon light, a dedicated collector named Harold discovered the error. Amid stacks of dimes that most would consider mundane, his experienced eyes caught sight of a single coin that seemed to whisper of secrets from another time. As he turned the coin over in his hands, he noticed that the reverse design bore a faint, doubled imprint, a duplication of the torch's flame that rendered the familiar image mysteriously altered. In that moment, Harold felt an unexpected surge of excitement mixed with a cautious awe. Here was a tangible piece of history that had defied the ordinary to tell its own story. Harold's discovery was not a mere chance encounter. It was the culmination of years spent meticulously studying coinage, searching for nuances that others might overlook. The error was subtle, its presence evident only to those who dared to examine the coin under magnification and in the quiet solitude of their passion. The doubled element did not overwhelm the design but instead added a layer of complexity, a silent nod to a process that was, for a brief moment, anything but flawless. This delicate imperfection imbued the coin with an almost ethereal quality, hinting at a deeper narrative hidden within the routine clamor of 1968's industrial might. As news of this misprinted dime began to circulate within the tight-knit community of numismatists, the coin's status evolved in unexpected ways. Initially, it was simply a curiosity, a rare error among thousands of otherwise identical dimes. Yet as collectors and experts compared notes and examined archival records, it became clear that this was no ordinary misstrike. Its unique characteristics, a doubled impression that created a ghostly echo of the torch's flame, sparked debates and discussions at coin shows, in private collections, and even among academic circles. The error, once relegated to the margins of a production flaw, began to carry a weight that transcended its humble origins. With each passing month, the value of the error coin began to shift in unpredictable increments. What had once been dismissed as a trivial anomaly started to take on the aura of rarity. Dealers who once saw the dime as common currency now recognized it as a coveted artifact, its worth amplified by the sheer improbability of its creation. Auction houses reported whispers of bids that gradually climbed higher, as the coin's provenance and unusual characteristics were meticulously documented in catalogs. The fluctuating worth of the error was a tangible reminder that sometimes history's accidental missteps could yield treasures far beyond their intended value, a testament to the idea that beauty and significance can be found in the most unexpected places. Amid this surge in interest, further investigation into the coin's origins uncovered an astonishing detail. Buried within the mint's production logs, a repository of dry figures and routine annotations, was a cryptic note pinned by a junior mint official. The note, scrawled in an unsteady hand, mentioned a brief malfunction in one of the coin presses. The official had written that the machine, momentarily off-kilter, had produced a double impression that might result in either a fleeting marvel or a catastrophic failure. This archival revelation cast the error in an entirely new light. It hinted at the possibility that the misprint was not an isolated accident, but rather the product of an experimental process, an inadvertent push beyond the conventional limits of precision in an era marked by rapid change and innovation. The unexpected note sent ripples of intrigue through the numismatic community. Scholars debated whether the misalignment was simply a random error or a byproduct of a fleeting experiment, a deliberate, if unintended, exploration of new minting techniques in a time when even the most established processes were being re-examined. This revelation deepened the mystery surrounding the coin, transforming it from a simple misprint into a layered emblem of an era defined by its willingness to challenge norms. For collectors like Harold, every glance at the coin now evoked a sense of wonder and trepidation. The doubled flame was no longer just a mistake. It was a symbol of the dynamic interplay between human error and the relentless pursuit of progress. As the years wore on, the coin's journey became a microcosm of the broader shifts in cultural and economic sentiment. Its market value, initially modest, began to reflect not only its rarity but also the growing appreciation for the narrative it embodied. Each transaction involving the coin was shrouded in quiet excitement, as if every buyer and seller were aware that they were part of a living history. A history where a single misprint had the power to alter perceptions of worth and authenticity. Exhibits and private collections began to feature the 1968 error dime as a centerpiece, its unusual design inviting close inspection and spirited conversation. In this way, The coin transcended its role as a medium of exchange to become a tangible reminder of the unpredictable magic inherent in the world of coinage. The physical characteristics of the error, its subtly doubled impression, and the faint trace of misalignment along the reverse, served as both a mark of its imperfection and a badge of its singular identity. The coin surface, once intended to be a perfect reflection of artistic intent and mechanical precision, now bore a reminder that even the most meticulously controlled processes could yield unexpected wonders. This duality resonated deeply with collectors and historians alike. Here was an object that, through no fault of its own, had become a storied relic. Every tiny line and shadow on the coin's surface told a story of human ingenuity, of machinery that sometimes danced to an unpredictable tune, and of a period when the very act of making money could become an art form defined by both its triumphs and its flaws. In the quiet moments of reflection, as Harold and his fellow collectors studied the coin under the scrutinizing gaze of history, there emerged an understanding that the 1968 dime error was more than a monetary anomaly. It was a testament to the beauty of imperfection. The accidental doubling of the torch's flame, once viewed solely as a defect, had grown to symbolize the unpredictable nature of progress itself. It was a reminder that history is often written not in grand gestures or flawless achievements, but in the subtle, sometimes overlooked details that carry profound meaning. With every careful examination and every measured bid at auction, the coin affirmed that even a momentary lapse in perfection could yield an enduring legacy. Every coin carries a story, but few narratives are as layered and enigmatic as that of the 1968 dime error. Its history, marred by a fleeting misalignment yet elevated by the passion of collectors and the whispers of archival secrets, stands as a living reminder that even mistakes can illuminate the path of progress. The coin, with its ghostly double impression and the secrets it silently harbors, invites us to look closer at the interplay between error and excellence. It challenges us to find in every imperfection a spark of brilliance, a spark that, against all odds, transforms a simple piece of metal into a beacon of history and possibility. In 2003, the U.S. Mint was operating at the crossroads of tradition and innovation, a period when age-old craftsmanship met modern technology. That year, the one-dime coin emerged carrying the familiar visage of President Roosevelt, accompanied by the torch, oak, and olive branches that had defined the design for decades. Yet amid the precision of automated presses and the hum of advanced machinery, one particular coin deviated ever so slightly from perfection. Hidden within the smooth contours and crisp lettering lay an error, a subtle misalignment in the impression that, at first glance, might have gone unnoticed by even the most seasoned observer. This deviation was not the product of a careless oversight, but the result of a delicate interplay between temperature calibrations and die alignment, a minor disruption in an otherwise finely tuned process that inadvertently transformed an ordinary piece of circulating currency into a numismatic enigma. Over time, as thousands of these dimes circulated, the error remained a quiet secret among the masses, its significance unrecognized by most. Within the controlled environment of the mint, every coin was expected to embody flawless consistency, a benchmark achieved through decades of refinement. Yet, on one production run, the balance tipped ever so slightly. The misstrike, barely perceptible to the untrained eye, introduced an unexpected double impression to the profile of Roosevelt, a subtle echo that whispered of imperfection in a world striving for uniformity. It was in this unassuming detail that history began to take on a new narrative, one where an accidental anomaly carried the weight of possibility and wonder, hinting at stories far richer than the metal from which it was cast. For one devoted collector, the journey toward unraveling this mystery began on an otherwise ordinary afternoon. Surrounded by a carefully curated collection that spanned years of diligent hunting and preservation, he discovered a 2003 dime that seemed to pulse with an energy all its own. At first, it was the faint doubling of Roosevelt's profile that caught his attention, a nuance so delicate that it required the steady hand of both experience and intuition to detect. Handling the coin with the reverence reserved for rare artifacts, he traced the curves and lines, marveling at how a single, minor discrepancy could hint at an entirely different story. The coin, though outwardly similar to its peers, possessed an air of secret significance, as if it held within its silver surface the silent echoes of a long-forgotten chapter in minting history. In the days and weeks that followed, murmurs of this anomalous dime began to ripple through the tight-knit community of coin enthusiasts. What was once considered an inconsequential detail gradually gained stature as collectors and experts alike began to compare notes and pore over production records. The coin's value, initially pegged to its face worth, started to undergo a transformation that defied simple explanation. Conversations in dimly lit study rooms and late-night online forums buzzed with speculation. Was this a mere production glitch, or had a retiring engraver secretly imbued the coin with a hidden signature? A final artistic flourish that celebrated his lifelong dedication to the craft? Each new theory added layers of intrigue, suggesting that the coin's unexpected misalignment might be as much a deliberate homage to a fading era as it was a random error. As the dialogue grew, so too did the coin's reputation. Auction houses, once indifferent to a circulated dime, began to receive inquiries from collectors eager to own a piece of this unfolding story. The error itself, characterized by a slight offset in the die that produced a doubled image on the coin's obverse, was meticulously examined by experts. Under magnification, the familiar details of Roosevelt's profile revealed an almost imperceptible secondary line, an echo that danced around the edges of the design. The normally uniform border bore a subtle irregularity, a gentle ripple that seemed to celebrate the unpredictability of manual intervention in an otherwise mechanized process. It was this very imperfection that transformed the coin from a simple piece of currency into a coveted relic, its worth rising with every whispered conversation and secret auction bid. In hushed debates and fervent discussions, the possibility emerged that this error was not solely the product of mechanical failure. Some speculated that a veteran mint engraver, facing the inevitable end of a long and storied career, might have orchestrated the misstrike as a quiet farewell to a craft he had devoted his life to. This possibility added an entirely unexpected twist. If the error were indeed a subtle signature, a private message left on a dime for those with the insight to recognize it, the coin would assume an even greater significance than mere rarity. It would become a living piece of art, a confluence of human emotion, technological ambition, and the enduring quest for beauty in imperfection. The ensuing investigation took on the character of a detective story, where each new piece of evidence deepened the mystery rather than resolving it. Archival records, production logs, and personal testimonies from mint workers were scrutinized, each hinting that the anomaly might have been the result of an unusual convergence of circumstances. Interviews with former employees recalled a day when routine maintenance intersected with an unexpected lapse in calibration, a moment that produced an artifact that defied explanation. The coin's unusual characteristics, the doubled impression, the subtle misalignment, the almost spectral quality of its design, were gradually pieced together as symbols of a transitional moment in minting history, one that underscored the tension between relentless pursuit of perfection and the inherent beauty of human error. With every new discovery, the coin's journey assumed the gravity of a myth in the making. Its value, once measured by metal content and face denomination, began to mirror the intangible qualities of rarity and narrative depth. Collectors who had once dismissed such imperfections as flaws in production now saw in them an invitation to explore the delicate interplay between chance and design. In quiet corners of coin shows and exclusive auctions, the 2003 dime error was discussed not only in terms of monetary worth but as an emblem of a forgotten artistry. A reminder that sometimes the most profound beauty lies in the spaces between perfection and error. Under the soft glow of study lamps, as enthusiasts gathered to debate the coin's legacy, every nuance of its design was examined as though it were a sacred text. The interplay of light and shadow on the slightly misaligned image lent the coin an almost otherworldly quality, as if it were a relic from a time when mistakes were celebrated rather than concealed. In this unassuming artifact, collectors discovered a narrative that wove together technical mastery, serendipitous error, and the enduring human desire to find meaning in the smallest details. The coin's transformation from a standard piece of currency into an object of legend was complete, a metamorphosis that elevated it from mundane money to a cherished emblem of mystery, memory, and the unpredictable grace of imperfection. Thank you for taking this historical coin quest with us. If these dimes sparked your interest, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your insights. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into another collectible coin saga.